Hello, this is Micky and Dom from the Metro Radio News team. Now, it's not very often you get an email saying, would you like to try a £120,000 electric sports car? Well, today we got one of those emails and we thought, yeah, you know what, we'll put it to the test. There's people watching that need to know how this car feels like when it's driven by two people who don't really drive sports cars very often. Now, thank you to Lloyd BMW Newcastle for the loan of this car. We will hopefully bring it back in one piece. It's a BMW i8, £120,000. Some of the nice specs that we like is that the fact that it does 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds. We'll try to beat that if we can. And also, if you run it right, there's 135 miles to the gallon because of it being an electric car. Road tax wise, you're looking dirt cheap, probably small family car, even probably cheaper than that really. The insurance is where it's going to bite you. Because this is a supercar with £120,000 with brake horsepower beyond anything that we've ever been in before, you're looking at the top group for insurance. So currently Dom is driving it. We are going to go to Whitley Bay, drive along the coast. So stay tuned. We'll be back in a few seconds. Fingers crossed Dom doesn't do anything that he shouldn't with this car, and we'll be back in one piece. So Dom, what's your first impressions?
It's really very nice. It feels a bit like driving just any normal car, but it's an incredibly fast supercar at the same time. And the thing that really gets you is how quiet it is. I think when you kind of take your foot off the brake, you put your foot down, it sounds a little bit like a spaceship. It's got a bit of a electric whoosh to it. But apart from that, it could be any other car.
It's really comfortable and roomy in the front. I suppose if there's one con, although you might be able to turn this into a Pro, if you didn't want to take any passengers with you, then there's literally no room in the back seat. You probably get the bag, maybe it's your weekly shopping, but apart from that, it's so far so good. We're coming up to the coast road now, heading on to Whitley Bay. Dom has topped it out currently at about 36 miles an hour. He's really going for it.
Burning rubber right now.
So once we get to Whitley Bay, we'll take you out. We'll have a look around the car and we'll show you all the ins and the outs of the BMW i8. So we've made it safely to the beautiful Whitley Bay. Look at the sunny weather. Dominic Johnson had the first drive of the car. Yes. Dom, your thoughts on the i8?
Excellent. I really enjoyed it. It's really comfortable, really smooth to drive, really easy as well. You think it's going to be really complicated because it's this 120 grand supercar, but it's just like any normal car except, you know, faster and nicer. And I didn't manage to hit anything, didn't scuff it on anything. I'm very pleased.
Any cons so far?
I'm not sure so far. Just that there's all these speed limit things on roads now, and they kind of ruin it.
They do kind of ruin it.
Always obey the law, of course.
Well, with the BMW i8, you get the kind of like, I'm going to call them the bird wing doors, because they open up like a bird's wing. And what we want to do now is we want to show you Dominic Johnson getting out of the car, because this could be quite fun.
Okay, I've got to work out how to do it first. There's a button. I think it's this one. There we go. I mean, that's the coolest thing ever, just to say. Right. Now, with practice, I imagine that probably gets better, but I'm not very good at it at the minute.
So as you can see from the outside, it's absolutely stunning. Definitely an eye catcher. Now, we were thinking about getting Dom to try and get into the back seat, but we don't really know how the seats work, so we've had to push the front seat forward, and Dom's now going to attempt to squeeze into the tiny back seat and see what happens.
I think I've gone about this the wrong way.
I think you're doing all right.
I mean, if you're a child, this is probably fine, but full-grown adults, maybe... Oh, hold on.
That wasn't that bad, I don't think.
It's comfortable, but... Oh, I found the thing.
That's probably a lot easier now.
That's how you do it.
I'm going to do it now.
Yeah, we did get out now. It's actually easier to get out the back than it is to get out the front.
So what you have to do if you want to get in the back is just find the right button.
Yeah, you don't have to do what I just did, because what I did was wrong. So not only have you got an incredible car here, there's also a really cool computer built into it. So with this button down here, you can control all the way through the menus. It goes left, right. It's basically a joystick that goes through everything. And you can press a million different buttons on there. I've just pressed by accident the split screen button. It gives us 2 screens. You've got the sat nav on for the driver, and I can play around with the media settings, that sort of thing. There's a phone. There's even a button for Office where you can kind of take notes and that sort of thing. It's literally a full computer attached to the dashboard of the car, which is very, very cool. So we're heading back from the coast now. Micky is in the driving seat. How has it been for you so far? How are you finding the drive?
I feel quite at home in this car, although I don't think I'm made for sports seats. I don't know what position to be in. However, I do know that I really like this car, and I've had it at a faster speed than what Dom's had it. We'll just put it that way, and it got there with ease.
It's a very nice place to be. All you have to do is find yourself 120 grand or so. You can have one of these for yourself.